Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. মই অনুৰাগ শৰ্মা আপোনালোক সকলোকে পুনৰবাৰ স্বাগতম জনাইছোঁ মোৰ YouTube চেনেলটোলৈ। আজি মই আপোনালোকৰ সন্মুখত এটা নতুন ভিডিঅ'লৈ উপস্থিত হৈছোঁ আৰু আজিৰ ভিডিঅ'টো মই আপোনালোকৰ সৈতে শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিম মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী পাৰ্ট 5 টো মানে কুৱেশ্যন নম্বৰ 401 ৰ পৰা 500 লৈকে কভাৰ কৰিম। ইয়াৰ আগৰ পাৰ্ট গিটাত মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী পাৰ্ট 1 ৰ পৰা 4 লৈকে অলৰেডি শ্বেয়াৰ কৰিলোঁ। ঠিক তেনেদৰে মেডিভেল ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী আৰু এনচিয়েণ্ট ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰীৰো গোটেইকেইটা পাৰ্টে শ্বেয়াৰ কৰা হ'ল। তো এইটো মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰীৰ লাষ্ট পাৰ্ট আছিলে আৰু এইখিনি ভিডিঅ'ছ আপোনালোকে মোৰ যোনটো প্লেলিষ্ট ক্ৰিয়েট কৰি থোৱা আছে ভিডিঅ'ছ অন MCQs বুলি সেই প্লেলিষ্টটোত গোটেইখিনি ভিডিঅ'ছ পাই যাব আৰু অকল এইখিনিয়ে নহয় বাকী অন্য ছাবজেক্ট ৱাইজ MCQsৰ ভিডিঅ'ছো বেলেগ পাই যাব চ' ডেট আপোনালোকে প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিব পাৰিব তাতে চাই পেলাই। তো মই এই যোনটো প্লেলিষ্ট ক্ৰিয়েট কৰি থৈছোঁ ভিডিঅ'ছ অন MCQs সেই প্লেলিষ্টটোৰ লিংকটো এই ভিডিঅ'টোৰ ডেছক্ৰিপশ্যনত প্ৰভাইড কৰিম, আপোনালোকে তাতে গৈ পেলাই প্ৰেক্টিছ কৰিব পাৰিব। তো আহক এতিয়া এই ভিডিঅ'টো ষ্টাৰ্ট কৰোঁ মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী পাৰ্ট 5। ঠিক আছে, এইটো লাষ্ট পাৰ্ট হয়। তো কুৱেশ্যন নম্বৰ 401 হু হেড স্ক্ৰেপ দি পাৰ্টিশ্যন অফ বেংগল আৰু ইয়াৰ কাৰেক্ট এনচাৰটো অপশ্যন এ লৰ্ড হাৰ্ডিঞ্জ। কুৱেশ্যন নম্বৰ 402 Mahatma Gandhi had been present at the round table conference held in London. Your correct answer to option B, second round table conference. Question number 403, the founder president of India Independence League was, or your correct answer to option A, Ras Bihari Bose. Question number 404, in which year was the partition of Bengal scrapped, or your correct answer to option B, 1911. Question number 405, the state from among the following which has not annexed by the doctrine of lapse is, or your correct answer to option B, Gwalior. Question number 406, Lord Mountbatten had held detailed discussion on the approaching partition of India with, or your correct answer to option D, all of the above. Question number 407, what benefits did the Poona Pact offer to the depressed class, or your correct answer option C, 18% seats in the central legislature and 148 seats in the provincial legislature. Question number 408, the Battle of Plassey is a particularly important event in Indian history because, or your correct answer option C, it laid the foundation for British rule in India. Question number 409, whom would you associate with the Censorship of the Press Act 1794, or your correct answer option C, Lord Wellesley. Question number 410, who had founded the Deccan Educational Society, or your correct answer to option D, Mahadeva Govind Ranade. Question number 411, Samparan, the site of Gandhi's first experiment in Satyagraha, is located in the state of, or your correct answer to option A, Bihar. Question number 412, on which date was the announcement formally made that India and Pakistan would be made free, or your correct answer to option B, June 3rd, 1947. Question number 413, in which year did the Indian National Congress hold its first meeting in Bombay, or your correct answer to option A, 1885. Question number 414, who among the following had observed upon Gandhi's assassination? None will believe that a man like this body and soul ever walk on this earth, or your correct answer to option C, Albert Einstein. Question number 415, infecticide was completely banned by the, or your correct answer option C, Bengal Regulation Act 21 of 1795. Question number 416, who had introduced the Indian Universities Act 1904, or your correct answer to option C, Lord Curzon. Question number 417, the Prarthana Samaj had been established by, or your correct answer to option B, Keshav Chandra Sen. Question number 418, with which of the following was Annie Besant associated, or your correct answer to option D, Theosophical Society. Question number 419, the Arya Samaj movement had been started by, or your correct answer to option A, Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Question number 420, the Ilbert Bill introduced in Lord Ripon's reign is significant because, your correct answer to option D, it removed racial discrimination from the judicial services. Question number 421, Madam S.P. Blavatsky had laid the foundation of the Theosophical Society in the year, or your correct answer option C, 1875. Question number 422, who had convinced and founded the Ramakrishna Mission, or your correct answer option D, Swami Vivekananda. Question number 423, the Dandi March undertaken by Gandhi was, or your correct answer option C, a part of the Civil Disobedience Movement. Question number 424, with which of the following would you associate Jyotiba Phule, or your correct answer option D, Satya Sadhak Mandal. Question number 425, what was Jagat Seth's claim to fame in the Bengal? He was the, or your correct answer option C, biggest banker in Bengal. Question number 426, the reformer from Maharashtra popularly known as Lakhidavadi for the well of others was, or your correct answer to option B, Gopal Hari Deshmukh. Question number 427, what did Raja Ram Mohan Roy actively seek reform in, or your correct answer option C, ending the practice of sati. Question number 428, who was the first leader to preside over the Indian National Congress, or your correct answer option C, W.C. Banerjee, Umesh Chandra Banerjee. Question number 429, the revolt of the 1857 revolt lay in, or your correct answer option D, all of the above. Question number 430, where had civil rebellions against the British initially started? Or yeah, correct answer to option A, Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh. Question number 431, Lord Cornwallis had introduced the Desh land tenure system. Or yeah, correct answer to option A, Zamindari. Question number 432, Swami Dayananda had translated the Desh into Hindi. Or yeah, correct answer to option A, Rig Veda and Yajur Veda. Question number 433, All Hilal was a newspaper launched for propagating nationalism by, or yeah, correct answer to option C, Abul Kalam Azad. Question number 434, the Asiatic Society had been established in Kolkata by, or yeah, correct answer to option B, Sir William Jones. Question number 435, the most important cause for the outbreak of the Ghadar Revolution was the, or yeah, correct answer to option C, Komagata Moru incident. Question number 436, the Suddhi movement involving the conversion of non-Hindus to Hinduism was started by, or yeah, correct answer option C, Swami Dayananda Saraswati. Question number 437, who was the first to raise the slogan Inqilab Zindabad? Or yeah, correct answer to option A, Bhagat Singh. Question number 438, by whom among the following was the Paramdham Ashram established? Or yeah, correct answer option C, Acharya Vinoba Bhave. Question number 439, from which year did the Muslim League start demanding a separate nation for the Muslims? Or yeah, correct answer to option B, 1940. Question number 440, who had propounded the theory of economic drain of India during British imperialism? Or yeah, correct answer to option A, Dadabhai Naoroji. Question number 441, which of the following upheavals took place in Bengal immediately after the revolt of 1857? Or yeah, correct answer option B, Indigo disturbances. Question number 442, identify the body among the following which that was not founded by Dr. B.R. Ambedkar? Or yeah, correct answer option C, Deccan Educational Society. Question number 443, the Dash were the first Europeans to start a joint stock company trade with India? Or yeah, correct answer option B, Portuguese. Question number 444, who was the first European to translate the Bhagavad Gita into English? Or yeah, correct answer option D, Sir Wilkins. Question number 445, the Cripps Offer was regarded as a post-dated check by, or yeah, correct answer option C, Gandhi. Question number 446, which of the following was not contained in the Cripps Offer? Or yeah, correct answer option C, control of defense of India by the Indian national government to Cripps Offer mention kora nasile, contain nasile. Question number 447, the Cripps mission visited India in the year? Or yeah, correct answer to option B, 1942. Question number 448, as per August Upper 1940, the Constitution of India would be drawn by? Or yeah, correct answer to option D, Indians. Question number 449, the governor of the East India Company was? Or yeah, correct answer option C, elected by the members of the East India Company. Question number 450, the exclusive right of trading between Desh was granted to the East India Company? Or yeah, correct answer option C, the Cape of Good Hope and Straits of Magellan. Question number 451, the charter for the establishment of East India Company was granted by? Or yeah, correct answer option A, Queen Elizabeth I. Question number 442, the East India Company was established in the year? Or yeah, correct answer option B, 1600 AD. Question number 453, when the East India Company was established in India was ruled by? Or yeah, correct answer option A, a Mughal emperor. Question number 454, the first Governor General of Bengal was? Or yeah, correct answer option A, Warren Hastings. Question number 455, Gandhi wanted students to spend their vacations in? Or yeah, correct answer option B, social service. Question number 456, upon whom was the title Punjab Keshari conferred? Or yeah, correct answer option C, Lala Lajpat Rai. Question number 457, who had observed that political freedom is the life-breath of a nation? Or yeah, correct answer option C, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. Question number 458, who had strongly advocated the policy of abolishing princely states and free India? Yeah, correct answer option C, Raja Gopalacharya. Question number 459, who among the following had authored the book At the Feet of Mahatma Gandhi? Or yeah, correct answer option B, Rajendra Prasad. Question number 460, the socialist group in the Indian National Congress INC during the 1930s had been led by? Or yeah, correct answer option D, Subhash Chandra Bose. Question number 461, the first Indian who has elected to the leadership of the Communist International was? Or yeah, correct answer option C, M.N. Roy. Question number 462, according to Gandhi, ahimsa could not be constituted to mean? Yeah, correct answer option C, tolerance of the wrong and unjust. Question number 463, which nationalist had stoutly preached, be proud that you are an Indian, proudly claim I am an Indian? Or yeah, correct answer option C, Swami Vivekananda. Question number 464, who had while fasting in the prison written to the British governor, the individual must die so that the nation may live. Today I must die so that India may win freedom and glory. Or yeah, correct answer option is Jatin Das. Question number 464, Mahatma Gandhi had been joined the Samparan struggle by? Or yeah, correct answer option D, Rajendra Prasad and Jawaharlal Nehru. Question number 466, the first Bengal drama written to highlight the brutality of the British indigo planters was? Or yeah, correct answer to option B, Neel Darpan. Question number 467, the Constituent Assembly was formed on the recommendation of the? Or yeah, correct answer to option B, Cabinet Mission Plan. Cabinet Mission Plan 1946 or India la ahisile. Question number 468, Rani Lakshmibai died fighting the British in the Battle of? Or yeah, correct answer to option C, Gwalior. Question number 469, 1969, Napaji Subhash Chandra Bose had proclaimed the formation of the provincial government of independent India. Azad Hind one in 1943 is in area correct answer option D, Singapore. Question of 470, who among the following was imprisoned in the UK for his action in India? Area correct answer option C, Lord Hastings, Warren Hastings. Question of 471, which of the following periods is considered as the revolutionary era in Indian history? Area correct answer option C, 1857 to 1990. Question of 472, who had first sought the legislation of widow remarriage in India? Area correct answer option C, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Question of 473, Ram Prasad Bismil had been associated with the case. Area correct answer option C, Kokori bomb. Question number 474, the inaugural issue of Bombay Darpan, a Marathi weekly, was published on November 12, 1832, started by a publisher, reformer named. Area correct answer option C, Bal Sastry. Question of 475, Gandhi had been provoked into crusading for a lot of the Asians in South Africa by the British law called the Act. Area correct answer option C, All Asiatic Registration. Question of 470, who was the founder of the Boy Scout and Civil Guides movement in India? Area correct answer option D, option B, Baden Powell. Question of 477, the first session of the Indian National Congress was held in. Area correct answer option C, Bombay. Question of 478, what was the name of the English weekly edited by Mahatma Gandhi? Area correct answer option A, Young India. Question of 479, the Woods Despatch of 1854 resulted in the. Area correct answer option C, establishment of the education system. Question of 480, the first national leader to decree the salt tax in the Indian legislature was. Area correct answer option A, G.K. Gokhale, Gopal Krishna Gokhale. Question number 481, the British attitude towards granting India independence changed partly owing to the. Area correct answer option D, all of the above. Question number 482, and emerged a person or thing which was immigrated communist journal brought out by M.N. Roy was. Area correct answer option D, Vanguard. Question number 483, which reform act had created the office of the Secretary of State for India? Area correct answer option B, the Government of India Act 1858. Question number 483, after the year 1853, a substantial amount of British capital had been invested in. Area correct answer option B, the railways. Question number 485, the Indian National Congress had adopted the famous Poorna Swaraj Complete Independence Resolution at its session held at. Area correct answer to option C, Lahore. Question number 486, in which year was the title of Governor General changed to that of the Viceroy? Area correct answer to option A, 1858. Question number 487, the name of the periodical published by Gandhi during his stay in South Africa was. Area correct answer option D, Indian Opinion. Question number 488, the revolutionary leader who had organized an attack on the armory of Chittagong was. Area correct answer option A, Surya Sen. Question number 489, the Government of India Act of 1935 had divided India into dash provinces. Area correct answer to option C, 11 provinces. Question number 490, the system of civil services had been introduced into India by. Area correct answer option C, Lord Bentinck, William Bentinck. Question number 491, whom did Gandhi name as Miravan? Area correct answer option D, Madeline Slate. Question of 492, the Mountbatten plan did not envisage the inclusion of the dash province in Indian Dominion. Area correct answer option B, Sindh. Question of 483, the process of the introduction of education in English had been initiated in India by Lord. Area correct answer option D, Macaulay. Question of 494, which of the following institutions was not founded by Gandhi? Area correct answer option B, Ramakrishna Mission. Question of 495, which of the following acts were passed in 1856? Area correct answer option C, both the above. The Religious Disabilities Act, the Hindu Widow Remarriage Act. Question of 496, the first interim government during the British rule in India was formed in. Area correct answer to option C, September 1946. Question number 497, the first vernacular paper Samachar Darpan was published during the tenure of. Area correct answer option A, Lord Hastings. Question number 498, Gandhi had given out the stirring call of do or die during the death movement. Area correct answer option A, Quit India movement, 1942. Question of 499, in which year was Burma separated from India? Area correct answer to option C, 1937. Question number 500, how many volunteers had accompanied Gandhi on the famous Dandi March of March 12, 1930? Area correct answer to option C, 78. Question number 501, who had observed that good government was never a good substitute for self-government? Area correct answer to option C, Swami Dayanand Saraswati. Question number 502, Hindu-Muslim unity had been particularly reflected in the. Area correct answer to option C, Khilafat movement. Question number 503, the Home Rule Society, particularly called Indian House, had been established in London to promote the cause of Indian independence by. Area correct answer to option C, Syamaji Krishna Verma. Question number 504, the leader who quit politics, retired to Pondicherry and set up an ashram there was. Area correct answer to option D, Sri Aurobindo Ghosh. চ' এইখিনি আছিলে ফ্ৰেণ্ডছ, মই বাকীখিনি আৰু নক'লোগৈ, তো ইমানতে সমাপ্ত কৰিলোঁ মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী পাৰ্ট 5টো। তো নেক্সট ভিডিঅ'টোত মই লৈ আহিম মডাৰ্ণ ইণ্ডিয়ান হিষ্ট্ৰী পাৰ্ট 6টো লৈ আহিম। তো পাৰ্ট 6টোত বাকীখিনি থাকিব। আজি ইমানতে সমাপ্ত কৰিলোঁ। মোৰ ভিডিঅ'টো চাই যদি ভাল পালে মোৰ চেনেলটো ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰি ল'ব আৰু কমেণ্ট ছেকশ্যনত জনাব। কিবা যদি কুৱেশ্যনছ থাকে, ডাউট থাকে, মই নিশ্চয় আপোনালোকৰ কুৱেশ্যনছ আৰু ডাউটছবিলাকৰ ৰিপ্লাই দিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিম। আৰু লগতে মোৰ আৰু এটা চেনেল আছে, সেই চেনেলটো ছাবস্ক্ৰাইব কৰি ল'ব পাৰিব। এই ভিডিঅ'টোৰ ডেছক্ৰিপশ্যনত সেই চেনেলটোৰ লিংকটো প্ৰভাইড কৰিম। আৰু লগতে ভিডিঅ'জন MCQs বুলি যোনটো প্লে'লিষ্ট ক্ৰিয়েট কৰি থৈছোঁ, সেইটোৰ লিংকটো এই ভিডিঅ'টোৰ ডেছক্ৰিপশ্যনত কভাৰ কৰিম, ছ' ডেট আপোনালোকে অন্যবিলাক MCQsৰ ভিডিঅ'ছবিলাকো ভিউ কৰি চাব পাৰে। তো ঠিক আছে ফ্ৰেণ্ডছ, তো আজিলৈ ইমানতে সমাপ্ত কৰি আপোনালোক সকলোৰ পৰা বিদায় ল'লোঁ। কাইলৈ পুনৰ এটা নতুন ভিডিঅ'লৈ আপোনালোকৰ সন্মুখত উপস্থিত হ'ম। তেতিয়ালৈকে বাই, টেক কেয়াৰ ফ্ৰেণ্ডছ। ভাৰত মাতা কি জয়, জয় আই অসম।